Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, brace up because today we are plunging into something totally wild. You know the drill. The internet goes bananas when conflict is developing in the social media sphere. However, when Andrew Tate joins the conversation, oh, you already know it will get violent. And this time he is
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he says. Logan Paul is a man. If you ever were unfortunate enough to consume his content, I get sent clips of it all the time by people mocking him.
Focused on the two most well-known figures in the influencer boxing world, the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan. Now, if there's one thing about Andrew Tate, it's that he doesn't hold back. The guy speaks his truth. You cannot dispute that his unvarnished views caused the internet to erupt regardless of your feelings toward him. And about the bouts of Jake Paul and Logan Paul?
He said, I think he even said in his video he made about me, when you get canceled, Andrew's pretending he doesn't care and he's some stoic warrior, but I know how much it hurts. Logan, it hurt you because you're a bitch. I don't give a fuck. I've been saying I'm going to get canceled for the last 2 years.
Oh God, he did not let down. So grab some popcorn, relax, and let's dissect precisely how Andrew Tate utterly roasted the Paul brothers and why the internet is devouring it. So let us quickly establish the scene. Jake Paul and Logan Paul, two YouTubers turned boxers who went from producing prank videos to knocking people out in the ring. Whether you believe they're serious or
a man who will say anything he thinks he is supposed to say so that the people in charge of him don't take his YouTube channel away, because if he loses it, he has nothing else.
Merely clout chasing. One thing's for sure, they know how to sell a battle. And with all their trash language, call-outs, and big pay-per-view events, they have kept front-page news continuously. Jake Paul, in particular, has established a name for himself by taking on ex-UFC fighters and defeating them in the boxing ring. He's battled men like—
Doesn't believe what he's saying. He's bought and sold. He's a puppet. He's a clown. And his clown is, when you're a clown, right?
Like Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and even Nate Diaz, all while saying he's the next great thing in boxing. Meanwhile, Logan Paul has been on a different route, facing Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition and now making waves in the WWE. But let's be honest, both of these men are usually in the mix when it comes to drama and controversy, and that's
take it personally, but I do have a dislike, it just is on a personal level in general, for cowardice, hypocrisy, switching up on people. That's just not how I roll with my team.
Precisely where Andrew Tate comes in. You know, Tate has always been loud about influencing boxing, and he's got some strong ideas on Jake and Logan. He's called them out several times, criticized their talents, and even teased the notion of battling them personally. But lately, with all the excitement surrounding their battles, Tate entered into savage mode and unleashed loose on these two like never before. First things first, Andrew Tate is not
When I made the video, I really disliked Jake Paul. Now, I don't dislike him, I understand him. I want to make something clear, I would still kick the living fuck.
Impressed with Jake Paul's boxing talents, and he made that very plain. He straight up dubbed Jake a fake fighter who only selects easy opponents. According to Tate, Jake Paul is avoiding actual competition and cherry-picking fighters who are either retired, very beyond their peak, or not really boxers to begin with. And let's be honest, a lot of folks agree with Tate on this one. I mean, Jake Paul's best victories were against former—
However, I do understand what he's doing. I understand that he is very, very smart, even with his marketing angle. I'm just a YouTuber. You're not just a YouTuber. You're a full-grown man with the best coaches in the world who's dedicated his life to learning how to box for years. You know how to box. You're not a complete amateur. You know how to box very well. 3, 4, 5 years of training combat sports. You can box.
MMA fighters who had zero experience in professional boxing. Ben Askren, a wrestler. Tyron Woodley, a tremendous UFC champion. But let's be honest, he was never recognized for his boxing. And Nate Diaz, a beast in the octagon. But again, not a boxer. Tate didn't hold back at all. He straight up declared that if Jake faced a pretty boxer in his peak, he'd be humiliated pretty fast. And honestly, that battle versus Tommy Fury basically proved Tate right. Jake eventually walked into the ring with a young, aggressive fighter. And guess what? He lost. But Andrew didn't stop there. Oh no, he had much to say about Logan Paul too. Now, Logan Paul has always had this larger-than-life demeanor. And sure, he's athletic. But Tate wasn't buying any of the hype. And when Logan began pushing this entire "I'm an elite boxer" story after surviving 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, Tate was the first one to call BS on that. According to Tate, Logan Paul is nothing more than a showman, a guy who talks a big game but doesn't truly back it up in the ring. Tate even went as far as labeling him a clown for creating a career off of exhibition bouts and staged WWE acts. And let's not forget the entire Prime Energy drink empire? Yeah, Tate criticized that also, suggesting Logan was more of a businessman than a warrior. And here's where it gets interesting, Tate really challenged Logan Paul to a fight. But surprise, surprise, Logan never accepted. Instead, he shrugged it off, made excuses, and kept doing his WWE thing. And of course, Tate had a field day with it, calling Logan soft and suggesting he'd never have the courage to truly battle a true challenge. Now, you already know when Andrew Tate talks, the internet listens. And when he began bashing Jake and Logan, social media went wild. Some individuals were entirely on Tate's side, admitting that the Paul brothers are merely manipulating the system and avoiding serious combatants. Others, of course, were staunch Jake and Logan supporters, supporting them and labeling Tate a hater. But no matter whose side you're on, one thing is clear: Andrew Tate understands how to stir the pot. He's got this way of getting under people's skin, and whether you love him or loathe him, you can't ignore him. His swagger, his trash talk, and his ability to break down bouts in the most brutally honest manner imaginable make him one of the most entertaining voices in the game. So here's the big question: will we ever see Andrew Tate walk into the ring with one of the Paul brothers? Jake Paul has been talking about fighting larger names, and if Tate truly wants to prove his point, why not settle it in the ring? Imagine the build-up, the trash talk, the press conferences. It would be one of the greatest influencer bouts of all time. But will it truly happen? That's the million-dollar question. As for Logan, it appears like he's more focused on WWE and his business activities than real boxing, so a bout between him and Tate seems doubtful. But hey, in the world of combat sports and social media drama, everything is possible. And there you have it, guys. Andrew Tate went off on Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and as usual, the internet couldn't get enough. Whether you agree with Tate or believe he's simply stirring up drama, one thing's for sure: this battle is far from done. So what do you guys think? Is Andrew Tate accurate about the Paul brothers? Should Jake and Logan eventually stand up and attack him? Drop your ideas in the comments, and let's keep this argument going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest in fight news and online drama. Until next time, remain savage.